on what was supposed to be a quiet, romantic evening beneath the Los Angeles skyline. Electra had envisioned everything: candlelight, soft music, the warm glow of a fire. A moment where time slowed and love stood still. She had spent the entire day perfecting every detail, hoping to remind Will of what they meant to each other. But instead of an intimate celebration of their bond, the night imploded in the most brutal way imaginable. Will's voice had trembled, almost inaudibly, as he broke the silence. "I need to tell you something," he had said, not meeting her eyes. The air shifted. Electra's smile faltered. "It happened once," he continued. "It was a mistake. With Luna." The words struck like bullets, one after another. Will, Luna, a mistake. Her brain stalled, grasping for meaning in the wreckage. Luna, the rising star, the golden-haired muse of Forrester Creations. The woman Electra had once welcomed with cautious trust. She had been everywhere lately. In campaign shoots, in boardroom meetings, on the same runways Electra had once dominated. But nowhere, not once, had Electra suspected she had slithered into her life. Electra didn't speak. Her breath became jagged. Will reached for her hand, but she pulled away, trembling. The betrayal was so immediate, so visceral, she felt physically ill. Her romantic evening became a graveyard of shattered illusions. The next morning, Electra didn't cry. She didn't wallow. She didn't even speak to Will. She drove straight to Forrester Creations, marched past the front desk, past startled assistants and designers, and found Luna exactly where she knew she'd be, at the fitting stage in the main showroom, surrounded by bolts of silk and photographers prepping the next campaign. Luna turned, surprised to see her. Electra didn't let her finish. "You slept with him." It wasn't a question. It was an accusation soaked in venom. Luna's face paled, but she didn't deny it. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she said quietly. "We were confused. It was one night." Electra laughed, sharp, humorless, unhinged. "One night? Is that supposed to make it better?" She took a step forward. "You smiled at me. You worked beside me. You asked for advice. And the whole time, you were sneaking around behind my back." Designers stopped. Cameras paused. The room froze as tension thickened. Luna stepped back, trying to maintain composure. But Electra was a storm. And it was already too late. "You wrecked everything," Electra hissed. "You knew he was mine." "Will isn't a possession," Luna snapped back, finding her voice. "He made a choice, and so did I. We didn't plan it, that was enough." Electra lunged. Her hand met Luna's face with a sharp slap, and chaos erupted. Assistants screamed. Fabric rolls toppled. Luna shoved Electra back, and suddenly they were grappling. Two women in designer heels and couture gowns locked in a vicious fight on the Forrester catwalk. Models scattered. A photographer dropped a $10,000 lens. Someone screamed for security. The Forrester name, already bruised by past scandals, teetered again on the brink. Ridge Forrester himself had to step in, separating them as Electra clawed toward Luna with wild eyes. "This is a workplace," he shouted. "You're both professionals. Act like it." But the damage was done. The press had caught wind. Headlines exploded the next morning. "Brawl on the runway, Forrester's Golden Girls at war." The tabloids devoured it. Fashion influencers spun wild theories. Clients pulled deals. The brand wobbled under the weight of yet another scandal. And then came the bombshell. Just days after the altercation, Luna disappeared from the public eye. No appearances. No fittings. No press. Speculation swirled. Was she fired? Hiding? Hospitalized? But the truth broke like a thunderclap when a leaked hospital report surfaced in the hands of a gossip site. Luna was pregnant. The internet detonated. "Who's the father?" Trended for days. There was no need to guess, the timeline was painfully clear. Will had slept with Luna. Luna was now pregnant. Electra was left to deal with the debris of a life she no longer recognized. Suddenly, Luna, the villain in Electra's tragedy, became the central figure of a full-blown family scandal. Donna Logan wept on camera. Brooke tried to manage damage control. Hope, ever the peacekeeper, urged the press to back off, while privately questioning Luna's motives. Ridge and Steffi debated pulling Luna from campaigns altogether, fearful the scandal would poison investor confidence. But it wasn't that easy. Luna was the face of Forrester's newest eco-fashion line. She was under contract. And now, she was carrying a Forrester-adjacent child. The company's legal team scrambled. Investors demanded answers. Paparazzi swarmed the Forrester estate, hoping to snap Luna with a baby bump or catch Will slipping in through a back door. As for Electra, she didn't disappear. She went public. In a blistering sit-down interview with a prominent fashion podcast, she laid it all bare. "He cheated," she said. "She knew. And now they expect me to vanish so they can play house? Not a chance." Her words reverberated through the industry. Brands took sides. Electra, long respected for her candidness and creativity, became a symbol of scorned elegance. Fans rallied. Hashtags exploded. Team Electra surged while Forgive Luna sparked counterarguments. The war spilled from the catwalk into boardrooms, bedrooms, and social media. Meanwhile, Will remained painfully silent. No interviews. No posts. No public appearances. Rumors brewed about where his loyalty truly lay. Some claimed he was back with Electra in secret. Others said he was supporting Luna quietly. A few claimed he was planning to flee LA altogether. Luna, for her part, issued a short statement confirming the pregnancy but refused to name the father. "This child is mine," she wrote. "And I will protect them with everything I have." The words only ignited more chaos. Will was spotted entering Luna's Beverly Hills apartment late one night, fueling talk that he was the father and was taking responsibility. But when Electra posted a cryptic video, a slow zoom on her engagement ring as she dropped it into the ocean, fans lost their minds. There was no coming back. Behind the scenes, Forrester executives held emergency meetings. Contracts were reviewed. PR teams spun narratives. Some wanted Luna removed entirely. Others warned of backlash. Brooke Forrester made a rare emotional plea to keep Luna in the fold. "We have all made mistakes," she said. "Let's not destroy a woman's life because of one misstep." But Electra wasn't done. She filed a lawsuit, not just for emotional distress but for professional sabotage. She claimed Luna and Will's actions had undermined her role as a brand ambassador, causing financial and reputational harm. The suit named both Luna and Forrester Creations. Now it wasn't just gossip. It was war, legal, personal, professional. Luna, pregnant and increasingly isolated, found her every move scrutinized. Paparazzi followed her to prenatal appointments. Talk shows debated her morality. Protesters stood outside Forrester HQ, some with signs of support, others demanding her resignation. She began to fray, canceling appearances and delegating duties to her assistant. Inside the company, battle lines were drawn. Thomas Forrester, once coldly indifferent, began showing Luna sympathy, citing his own past sins. Steffi, focused on protecting the brand, distanced herself. Ridge stayed mostly silent, brooding behind boardroom doors, clearly torn. And through it all, Will remained the ghost hovering over every conversation. Visible in his absence, powerful in his silence. Eventually, a new twist surfaced. A leaked email revealed Luna had tried to break off the relationship with Will before it even began, warning him it would ruin too much. But he had insisted. He had chased her. The revelation turned some public sentiment. Was Luna the victim? Was Will the manipulator? Had Luna fallen into the same trap so many women had before? Electra didn't care. The damage was done. She launched her own fashion line, E by Electra, and signed a partnership with a rival fashion house. Her launch show was a theatrical masterpiece, dark, defiant, unforgettable. Models walked in shattered glass motifs, raw silk and leather, with tears painted on their cheeks. The final model wore a dress emblazoned with one word, betrayed. The message couldn't be clearer. Luna, watching from her apartment with swollen ankles and a half-empty takeout box, felt it in her gut. She wasn't just losing her reputation. She was losing the war. As her due date approached, the question loomed, would Will show up for the birth? Would he claim the child? Would Electra ever forgive or forget? One thing was certain, Forrester Creations would never be the same. And neither would any of them. Finn had always trusted his instincts, and lately, they were screaming at him. The scandal surrounding Luna's pregnancy had already shaken the foundations of Forrester Creations and ignited a firestorm in the press. But Finn couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the story. Something hidden beneath the chaos. Something no one wanted to see. And so, quietly, carefully, he started digging. What began as a simple search for clarity turned into a tangled web of timelines. Missed phone calls, private meetings, and strange coincidences. Finn reviewed security logs, flight records, text message data, and traced Luna's movements in the weeks leading up to her night with Will. What he found didn't just raise eyebrows, it rewrote everything. First, there were discrepancies in Luna's schedule. She claimed the encounter with Will was a one-time mistake, born of a vulnerable moment. But Finn uncovered a set of internal calendar changes showing that Luna had cancelled a key meeting. The same day Will skipped a board session, and both were unaccounted for nearly 5 hours. Then there were the messages, deleted from Luna's phone, but partially backed up on the company server. Will had pursued her, yes, but Luna hadn't exactly resisted. One message from Luna read, "We can't keep doing this. Someone will find out." It wasn't about one night. It was about a pattern. But the most shocking discovery came from a phone call. A voicemail Luna had accidentally left on Steffi's office line weeks before the scandal broke. Finn recovered it while reviewing Forrester's internal security reports. In the recording, Luna's voice was tense, shaken. "I didn't mean to hurt anyone," she said. "But if Steffi ever finds out what really happened in Aspen, I'm finished. This wasn't supposed to follow me back here." Aspen. A year ago. The retreat where Will, Luna, and several others had gathered for a discreet Forrester-Spencer leadership summit. No press. No paparazzi. No official record. Only select invitees, and Finn hadn't been one of them. Steffi had attended but left early after an argument with Ridge. Luna had stayed behind. So had Will. Finn's heart raced. The pieces began to fit. The affair hadn't started recently. It had started in Aspen. The pregnancy wasn't just a complication. It was the inevitable consequence of a long-running deception. Luna had lied. Will had lied. And Steffi, his wife, had been defending Luna this entire time, blind to the truth. When Finn brought the evidence to Steffi, she didn't believe him at first. "No," she said, shaking her head. "Luna wouldn't, she's not that calculating." But Finn didn't back down. He played the voicemail. He showed her the calendar inconsistencies, the deleted messages, the Aspen timeline. With each new detail, Steffi's face paled. The woman she had defended, protected, even gone to war with Electra over, had not only betrayed her trust, but had embedded herself deeper into the Forrester-Spencer dynasty with a web of half-truths and cover-ups. Steffi felt the walls close in. For weeks she had walked a fine line between protecting her family's reputation and maintaining corporate integrity. But this changed everything. Now, Steffi had a choice to make. If she revealed what Finn had uncovered, Luna's world would collapse. The pregnancy would no longer be a scandal, it would be a full-on scandal engineered. But if she stayed silent, she'd be complicit in protecting someone who had lied her way into the Forrester inner circle. The implications were devastating. Luna wasn't just a naive intern who'd made a mistake. She was smart, ambitious, and according to the facts now in front of Steffi, deeply manipulative. If Steffi exposed her, it would vindicate Electra and destroy Will. Spencer-Forrester relations would deteriorate beyond repair. But if she did nothing, Luna could gain permanent access to the family via the child. A child possibly conceived with strategy, not love. The tension spilled into her marriage. Finn wanted the truth out. "We can't build a life on lies," he said. "If we let this go, what does that make us?" But Steffi hesitated. Her instincts screamed to protect the company, the family brand, and even the baby, innocent in all this. "If we go public with this," she replied, "we destroy everything. The baby, the company, Will's reputation, my father's trust, everything. What about us?" Finn asked. That was the question that haunted her. Their arguments grew sharper, colder. Finn slept in the guest room. Steffi buried herself in board meetings and damage control. Finn continued to research, growing more certain that Luna had orchestrated much more than anyone realized. He found witness testimony, a ski resort employee who remembered seeing Luna and Will alone together. Late at night, in Aspen, he tracked down expense records. Luna had charged room service to Will's suite. The affair wasn't impulsive. It had history, strategy, intent. Steffi began seeing Luna in a new light, not as the wide-eyed young designer eager to prove herself, but as someone who had methodically maneuvered into proximity with power. But what cut deepest was Luna's betrayal of her. Steffi had vouched for her, had shielded her, had even convinced Hope and Ridge to give her more responsibility in the company. And Luna had taken that goodwill and used it as cover. The marriage between Finn and Steffi grew brittle. Trust, once effortless, now had to be negotiated daily. Finn resented Steffi's refusal to act swiftly. Steffi resented Finn's moral absolutism. And through it all, Luna's pregnancy advanced. Every ultrasound brought headlines. Every appearance reignited the media firestorm. Electra's lawsuit gained traction, and her public persona flourished. She framed herself as the woman who refused to be erased, and the public loved it. Meanwhile, Luna's approval ratings plummeted. Whispers of a forced resignation circled Forrester board meetings. Then came the leak. Someone inside the company, no one knew who, leaked Finn's findings to the press. The voicemail, the Aspen retreat, the calendar discrepancies. It all hit the internet like a missile. Overnight, Luna went from troubled ingenue to suspected manipulator. Aspen affair trended worldwide. News anchors debated whether the pregnancy had been part of a calculated move to gain power. Luna's lawyers issued statements. Will issued none. Steffi's silence was interpreted as complicity. Questions arose. What did she know, and when? Was the Forrester family covering up another scandal? Was this Brooke and Ridge all over again, another generation repeating the cycle? Finn, though absolved in public eyes, now stood at a crossroads in private. He had told the truth. He had done what he believed was right. But the fallout had changed his marriage. Steffi, broken and exhausted, blamed him, not for the facts but for exposing them. "You didn't just blow up Luna," she said one night. "You blew up us." "I told the truth," he replied. "If the truth blows us up, then what were we to begin with?" The words lingered. As the dust settled, Luna retreated from the spotlight. Will, under pressure from Spencer Publications, took an indefinite leave. Electra's brand soared. And Forrester Creations, once a symbol of elegance and legacy, stood cracked, once again, under the weight of betrayal and secrets. Finn and Steffi now lived in the silence between explosions. No longer newlyweds. No longer aligned. Just two people standing on opposite ends of a truth too big to ignore. Whether they would rebuild or collapse for good remained unclear. But one thing was certain. The truth didn't just shift the balance of power between Steffi and Luna. It detonated it. And in the wreckage, no one escaped unchanged.